Hi, welcome to That's a Thing Accent Core episode 0.80. It is Monday, July the 6th, and hopefully you all had safe holidays.
Yep, it was July 4th on today. Yes, I don't know. Stay in don't
2 days ago,
2
if you're
days
listening to
ago.
this on Monday.
Just don't blow your fingers up with a firecracker. Don't do that. That's always been my mom is an eye doctor, so I never got to play with firecrackers as a youth because she had to deal with people blowing up firecrackers in their eyes. So she's like, you don't get to do that. And that set me on the track of I don't like personal firecrackers because I think they're just kind of annoying. What do you feel about?
At the very least, try to blow off the fingers on your non-dominant hand.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Like that's really important. Or like you could on my left hand, I could lose like the three. I need my thumb. You need your thumb, and I think you need your pointer finger. Your middle finger's more important than you think. Actually, all your fingers are kind of important. I wouldn't lose any of them. I kind of need all of them.
Yeah, if I'm keeping them, I want my thumb, and I'll take either. I can scrap, especially left hand. I can scrap ring finger and pinky finger.
I think ring or pinky is the throw off. I'm not sure which one is which. Because the pinky is kind of important, like as the final grasper. But the ring finger is nice because I think you could.
The pinky is only important for putting on airs, Kevin.
But that's very important. I need to put on airs to show people that I'm superior. Pinky out.
And if the ring finger, especially on lefty, is only important for getting married.
That's true. So I'm not going to have that issue. So I think I'm going to get rid of the. I think I get rid of the ring finger, so I can still.
So Kevin, also extend all of your fingers, and then imagine what your hand is without the ring finger constantly.
Yeah, it's the shocker. You're always prepared.
Yeah,
you're always prepared. Although the thing is, if you're playing like computer games, you need that ring finger for your WASD. You can't do that with pinky. So I guess that's something. I'm having one of those days where I comfortably had 8+ hours of sleep and I woke up feeling even more tired than normal. Nolan has joined.
Hey.
Hi, Nolan.
We've already begun. We talked about what fingers we would blow. If you had to blow up your fingers, which ones would you keep? Which finger would you sacrifice to the god of fireworks if you had to sacrifice one?
That's obvious, pinky.
Yeah, I think in retrospect that's the one, but I think there are some uses.
Kevin wants to put on airs.
Yeah, I like putting on airs. And I also like the idea that if you blow up your ring finger, your hand is permanently prepared for the shocker.
If I'm gonna be honest, why don't you get rid of the ring finger too? That's the second one.
Yeah, I just think. Yeah, that was what we were talking about. You don't know.
Middle finger is probably my second one actually.
I think I need middle finger. Middle finger comes in handy.
I think I can keep my ring finger as long as I have my middle finger off.
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah, you want that spread of coverage, gives you more leverage.
Yeah, that's true.
See?
I think the necessary is you gotta have the pointer and the thumb.
Can I trade the top knuckle from each finger?
Ooh. Yeah, I feel like that'd be fair.
I think you could sacrifice a finger's length of finger in this scenario. So yeah, if you lost 3 segments of finger, that counts as a finger. Or you could do like 2 and 1 if you want to be fancy.
Let me go ahead and just ask this: has anyone had fireworks blow up in their hands before?
No.
No.
I was specifically like where this conversation started is because my mom is an eye doctor. I was not allowed to play with fireworks as a child because she had the deal
Okay, 'cause
with
I've had
people shooting
two
that.
different occasions, bottle rockets blow up in my hand.
Yeah.
Ooh. I have done the hold, and kids don't do this at home. I have held a bottle rocket in my hand and lit it and holding the stick and let it shoot out from my hand then.
Oh no, I did the opposite where I hold on, because if you hold on to the top and you let it go and then throw it, it explodes.
Ah.
But if you get the timing wrong,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're cooking that grenade.
Oh, also, have you done this? So, okay, this is apparently where the podcast is going.
Yeah, that's fine.
Kids, don't do any of this at home. Have you ever taken like a Bic lighter and you hold your hand in a closed fist and you just hold the tap down so it's just blowing butane into your hand, and then you strike it, and at the same time you open your hand so you just get a little fireball effect out of your hand?
I
No.
did the same thing but with like hand sanitizer.
Yeah, sounds like a more consistent way to do it.
I did not. So one time when I was around 10, my mom was feeling especially dangerous, and I got to play with sparklers one year, but I had to wear safety goggles and gloves. This is real.
So, take it. Were you like a snake household?
Oh, we were a nothing household, and that was only because we went to like a church party or something where they had sparklers, and my mom was like, "Okay, you get to, but you have to wear safety goggles." And
God, that's the worst because all the other kids are not wearing safety goggles.
yeah, I mean, as an adult, I understand it completely because once you like, she's like, yeah, I had to do eye surgery on people, a lot of eye surgery on people from fireworks injuries, and I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
When you're seeing the worst case scenario a lot,
Yep.
but it's very lame. It's one of those. It's like it's like eating your vegetables. I get it, but it's lame. And then like the 10-year-old part of me is disgusted every time I eat something healthy. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, no, I have to brush and floss my teeth.
There you go. Put those safety goggles on to poke yourself in the eye.
Look at Mr. Fancy Pants. Ooh, I take care of my teeth. I don't just
Well,
eat.
then, just from hearing you, I'm going to go ahead and dodge and skip my next question about fireworks because I don't know if you guys have done it or not.
Oh no, go for it. Ask.
So
Go for it.
I obviously can tell. Has anyone been in a bottle rocket war?
No.
Or know what that is?
I know what that is when you just shoot them at each other. I've seen the aftermath.
Yeah.
I
I've been in a light scrimmage. Not a full-on war, but definitely like a military
engagement.
operation. Yeah, and
I've been on the battlefield.
You're,
And on the battlefield, you play dirty.
are you using like PVC pipes or other things to help aim, or are you just holding, aiming, and letting go?
You use PVC pipes, or my trick is you start out shooting Roman candles at people,
Mm.
and then you put it into the empty husk of your Roman candle to aim.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Now, I'm not the guy who brought the atomic nuke to the bottle rocket fight.
you're not
That guy's an
Well,
asshole.
you're not the guy
Someone
who's
just
wheeling
lights
up
and
in
throws
Metal
it.
Gear Rex. And you're like, oh,
Yeah, the equivalent of that is getting a shell, cutting the fuse in half, and then rolling it down to people.
oh that's
See,
just
I'm
being an
also-
asshole.
That is
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, no, it is.
I'm a proponent of, I like breaking the stick off of the bottle rocket and lighting it and seeing it fly all crazy like.
Yeah.
I'm not a useful soldier, that's what I'm saying.
Listen, as long as you follow the Geneva Convention of Bottle Rocket Wars, you're fine.
I just feel like it's just one
Which
step
is no
over.
M80s, no shells, no heavy artillery.
I just feel like there's always like you feel like someone's just gonna escalate and bring just like a grenade, like actual just explosives or like nail IEDs, just start chucking. It's just like nah, I'm gonna win.
Using those guerrilla warfare tactics.
Yeah, it was always the kid that didn't understand about like play fighting.
Yeah.
And you'd be playing Power Rangers, and the guy goes, "No, I'm going to be the strongest Power Ranger," and just punches someone as hard as they could in the like in the gut, and like, yeah, I won.
You just at that. Okay, that was more me and my cousins playing Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, it happens. It's every kid fighting / superhero show. There's the group where one person goes, I don't want to lose. I can just push it just a little bit more. Now I'm winning.
No, see, I always like to pretend like, oh no, I'm losing, and then I finally power up. Oh,
No, that's
here's the
great.
problem. I've yet to be on the outside of that. Watching kids do that,
Oh man, it's
so I see how
weird.
stupid it looks.
Oh, it's great. When I was
Yep.
when I was working in a school, when I had to do like recess duty, you'd see kids shooting kamehamehas at each other, and I know what they're doing. Like you just see two
Yeah.
kids going ah, and they're yelling and they're doing the thing. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what's going on over there. I saw one kid doing Naruto hand signs.
Oh.
They're kind of bad, but
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
think you mean Boruto hand signs.
no, this is still Naruto. That's how long ago when I was in there. It was still Naruto. He was doing like there's a kid going like shadow clone, and he did like the hand pose, and he goes, "Now I have like 4 of me." I'm like, "Yeah, that's great. You do that, kid." Because I remember when it was Power Rangers, and people were arguing which Power Ranger you wanted to be.
Did everyone try to be the Red Ranger?
Well, so here's the thing,
much.
I think
because
you mean the Green Ranger.
at the beginning, there was 2 schools of thought, whereas the Red Ranger was the leader, so people wanted to be him. But most people's favorite color was blue, so they wanted to be
Yeah.
the Blue Ranger, even though people didn't like
But-
Billy. But it's
Billy's
still,
a nerd.
yeah, but it's still the Blue Ranger, and that's my favorite color. So you had this conflict, and the Green Ranger just added a whole other like aspect to it.
Dynamic.
So
Yeah.
you're like, do you want to be the leader, the coolest one, or the best color? And that was always a discussion.
Yeah, am I wrong in thinking blue is like an oversaturated market for like children's favorite color?
It. I think it is in general. I remember it's always been whenever, way back in the long ago, we did like favorite color polls. Blue always won.
Yeah.
I,
Is it just from like blue is the boy color and pink is the girl color?
I think so, but it also may be. Yeah. I don't know. My favorite color has changed over the years. Like it's shifted.
Yeah, where are we at now?
Right now I like red. I'm down with red, even though red has been tainted by many things. But I'm like, yo, I'm sticking the course.
It's not Red's fault.
It ain't. It is not Red's fault. Red is just. But that's kind of the allure of red. Is that you're going for it, even though it's not. I liked green. Purple is on the rise. Purple has been up. Purple's kind of like it's the dark horse. Or if I move on from red, it'll probably go to purple. Mainly because in a lot of character customization, I use purple a lot because not many people use it, and I've grown accustomed to it.
Yeah. What about you, Nolan?
I've actually had a solid color but the longest time it's always been maroon. I just like that dark red.
Maroon's very good. I like
Yeah.
maroons. I
I do too,
one
because
of
it's also
those- yeah.
specific.
Specifically, there's a maroon Red Ranger, and I'm like, oh my god, he's the coolest. The Quantum Ranger's the best. He's like Red Ranger but dark.
Oh yeah. No,
You need more quantum power.
exactly.
Quantum power.
I mean, I like black and white as I've gotten like older. I like that really high contrast between black and white.
The chiaroscuro shading.
Exactly. Pink is also way up. I use pink a lot online. I did that on my Twitch because no one was using it, so my name would show up in Twitch chat better.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make my Twitch name Pink so it shows up. And I was like, yeah, I think I like pink and black. I think that's a good color combo. Those were my D&D
Nah,
guys.
that's your Bam Margera color combination.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm sorry to break it to you, Kev, but that's Bam Margera.
Oh, that made that color combo worse.
It's tainted now.
It's tainted. I have to go with black and purple with a little accent of either white or gold. I like the LA Laker. Put that in there. What about you, Drew? What color are you rocking?
So, okay, I remember as a kid it was blue, and then it shifted into red for the longest time, and now I think I have moved to purple, and gray are my favorite colors.
Not bad. Not
like
bad.
a light gray, not like a dark gray, but like a lighter gray.
Kind of like a light gray and a dark purple.
No, I wouldn't say a dark purple. I'd say like a rich purple. Like you go to church and that color. Purple.
Oh yeah, that one.
Oh, the Jesus purple.
Yeah,
Yo,
Jesus purple's a good purple.
Jesus purple is a good purple. I like the purple. I like the more bluish purple than a reddish purple.
Yeah.
But it's all good. All right.
It's also, I think purple has the like advantage like pink of if you have purple things they stand out.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, I know in Japan purple is like the evil color.
Oh, that makes it cooler.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, that's why like all of the poison types and stuff are kind of that purpley pink because it's like the miasma. It's the evil color. But I'm like, yo, that's cool. Purple's great.
I wish poison was a better type.
It's just kind of thrown onto things. Like you'll have a good Pokemon and then they'll just throw on poison type at it and be kind of like, eh.
Dang it! Actually, no, I forgot the best colors.
What's that?
Because of what happened this weekend, there's only one true pair of colors.
What's that?
The red, white, and blue, baby. These colors don't run.
The colors don't run.
USA, USA, USA.
Did you see? Speaking of which, it was the girl who figured out that if you see someone with the thin blue line cop bumper sticker, that if you have enough Copic markers, you can turn it into a rainbow flag.
Yep.
Because it's just like it's positioned specifically where the B and the Roy G Bibbs, you just color it in.
Yep. It's like there you go. Now you got a positive, helpful bumper sticker.
Yeah,
That's a power move.
and I was like, oh, that is strong. That is the big strongs. All right.
Yep, you're welcome for that one, Kevin.
That one was great. All right. Speaking of Bam Margera, I watched a show, a new, I guess it's anime, but it's not really. And it's
It's
called Tower of God. And I watched all of it.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yo, Tower of God's sick.
Where can people watch this, Kevin?
Oh, that's on Crunchyroll. Apparently, it's like a Crunchyroll co-production. And if this is what the Crunchyroll co-productions are going to be, then good job. Because this show is very good. I would describe it as the Hunter exam arc of Hunter x Hunter in terms of quality.
Mm.
and basically kind of setting. There's the main character's name is Bam, and I think it's Korean, like it's Korean based. It's very nice. I would say solid 8 out of 10. You can tell like it's not low budget, but there's some budgety kind of like intro has terrible CG Hawk, and you get to see that, and you're like, yeah, I love terrible CG Hawk. But they're using their animation, like not budget in terms of money, but just in terms of like work, where you see like, okay, now we're in a fight scene, we're putting in the stuff, but because we had a fight scene, there's going to be some kind of flat talking where you just see like two characters kind of standing around talking, and we might some clever camera cuts to save on this time, but it's good. It's a good show. I really liked it.
All right.
I would say if
Is
you're
it 13 episodes?
13 episodes. Apparently, season 2 is like next year, but because it's a webtoon comic that's translated, when you finish up, you can just click on the little link on the episode, and you go right to the comics, and you can keep on reading.
Oh.
And
Is this the Korean webtoon comic about like the stepmom that wants to have sex with her stepson?
no,
I don't want to know anime about that, Kevin.
no, there's one. No, like I clicked on webtoons. There's a bunch of them, but this one seems pretty good.
Something about a room.
Yeah, there's apparently the most common, the most loved one at the moment, according to its popularity, is something about some like gamer girl streamer romance show, and that one's not good. But this one is. This one, maybe I'll have to watch the gamer girl romance to avoid the bone. I'm always running for the bone, but this one's really good. The anime is pretty good. There's a lot of cool characters. The villain, when you see the villain, one of the most hateable villains of all time. I was peeved. Like I finished watching this show late at night, and I was having trouble going to bed because I was so mad. Because he's because you kind of get the closest. I'm trying to talk around spoilers, but you know that episode of Devilman Crybaby where you get to see about what's Satan up to.
Oh.
Yeah.
You find out what Satan's up to,
Mm.
and you're like, recontextualized. Oh, there's some recontextualization, and then a tease of a time skip, and you're like, oh. But I highly recommend it. I think it's a fast watch. The characters are good. One of the characters is, if you mixed Kahlua with Enigmatic Gale in terms of personality and design. And I'm like, yeah, that guy's really good. His special power is he has a bag. And it's filled with things. It's great. So, highly recommended Tower of God. That's what I did this week to avoid the bone. Did you do anything to avoid the bone, Nolan and Drew?
So yesterday? No. 2 days ago. Thursday. 4 days ago if you're listening to this Monday. I'm just like doing my usual thing, doing work from home when suddenly my internet is just gone. Like, for those not aware, like I just use my mobile hotspot on my phone for internet and it was just gone.
Oh no.
And then I looked, and no, all of my service was just gone.
Uh-oh.
It said emergency calls only.
So what? Okay.
And so, like, later in the day, it's like, okay, well, I'm done working. Thankfully, I had enough stuff offline I could do that I could, fill the hours. But I go over to my partner's place, so I can use her Wi-Fi to try to figure out what is wrong with my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out T-Mobile and Sprint have done a merger.
Yeah.
And T-Mobile was killing Sprint's 5G networks on Thursday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I spent like an hour or so trying to go through my phone to figure out, like, do I have to buy a new SIM card? If I have to buy a new SIM card, my phone does not have enough like storage capacity for me to be able to get rid of the SD card that's in it for a SIM card.
Oh no.
Is this how T-Mobile is making me have to buy a new phone?
I'm assuming you got things worked out.
I did. So finally I found like a post being like, you can go into settings and look at blah blah blah. And I didn't read the rest of the article. I just went into settings and went to connections and started clicking things.
Hell yeah.
So at first I switched from like, I think I don't know what I went into, but I switched something from manual to automatic finally. And it was like, we're going to need to reset to like, for the SIM card. And I'm like, oh, that's great. That's apparently just what I need. And then it worked. But it was just, it's such a not problem. But like, okay, if you're doing this, why wouldn't you send a notification out to all of your customers?
Okay, that's one of my greater internet problems, where I would want them whenever, because stuff will happen where they'll do like routine maintenance, and for most people it doesn't matter, but if you're at midnight or 1 a.m. and the internet just goes out, and I'm like, could you have sent an email to me that just says we're going to do maintenance around midnight to 1 a.m.?
I mean, video games can do it. They can send out a thing saying, hey, we're doing server maintenance on this day.
Magic the Gathering does it all the time, and the Magic the Gathering client sucks. It's falling apart. It's awful. And they'll be like, yeah, we're going to be doing maintenance on Thursday from 12 to 3. Expect outages during this time, and we'll let you know when it's done. It's like, come on. Hate it.
Yeah. God, telecommunication companies continue to be the worst companies in America, second only to big pharmacy, because they are literally killing people.
That's true. I was gonna agree with you, but then you made it. I'm like, yeah, they're not destruction of human lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they are really annoying. It's really fascinating in some ways whenever the internet goes out and I discover, oh god, I have nothing. When I look around my house, it's like, okay, I have these old Warhammer books I can read, and that's it. Maybe I could play these games, and half my games need to be online. I
That
guess
sucks, dude. That's why I do make an effort to buy movies that I actually like and to buy, like, books.
I should buy a book again. I haven't bought a book
Mr.
in a
K's
while.
is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should just buy one of those Dungeons and Dragons monster manual books and just read them.
Yeah. I mean, those aren't bad. Also, the D&D comics are pretty... Okay, there's a specific author I would recommend for D&D comics, but...
Well, that's kind of the same of any genre media where you can say, like, these are good. Don't just start picking them out. Bad things may happen.
But hey, the IDW Dungeons and Dragons by Rogers and DeVito are good.
Yeah, it's like I could tell you good Warhammer books, but don't just pick out any of them. You may find yourself in a real bad place, because I've been in that place and it's bad.
The only thing I would pimp out would be Berserk and Saga.
Yeah, those are good.
I don't like Saga. I don't like Brian K. Vaughan.
It's not everyone's
I
cup of tea. I get you.
like Berserk though.
I just like the
Yeah.
world building. So yeah, Berserk.
It's like every time I read anything by him, I just like feel like he is so far up his own ass. And I say this as someone who is like, I can't lie, I'm pretty pretentious. But Brian K. Vaughan's like all the way up there.
Listen, that's why it's just Saga and nothing else from him.
I can see that. I can see where you get the fantasy elements. So you're just like, yo, there's that cat that really hates people that are lying. Is that from Saga?
Say again?
I think it is. I don't know.
The cat that hates people that are lying?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought
No,
that...
it's a cat that can tell you if you're lying, and if you're lying, it goes lying.
Good. I like
Okay.
that. I like that
And
cat.
it's called Lying Cat.
Very good. I always like it when like a fantasy or magic thing has a name that's just completely descriptive. It's like not creative at all. It's like, what is this? It's like, yeah, that's the truth hat. Tells you if you're telling the truth.
There's a good bit of that in Saga, but not like a whole bunch.
What
It's not too stupid.
how have you been avoiding the bone, Nolan?
Sorry, say again.
How are you avoiding Charlie Bone? By doing things that are not the typical, so you do not have to read Charlie Bone. Or what have you been up to?
Oh, I know. Listen, Charlie Bone is completely out of my area of expertise, so I don't have to do anything to get away from it.
Okay, that's
No,
good.
but that's the thing is like I think I'm the only one of us who's
Yeah, like Drew's read it, and for me, it's like my self-imposed rule to do something out of the ordinary for the podcast. So, Discord might be having issues. Hold on, I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
all right, Nolan, I can hear you. I can't hear Drew. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect, reconnect real quick. So anyway, we're having shenanigans. Hello? Can you hear Drew, Nolan?
No.
Okay, he left. He might be returning. Anyway. Alright. I cannot hear Drew at all.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
now I
know.
can.
I saw you disconnect, Kevin, but I was still connected to Nolan, but I couldn't hear him, so I just left and came back.
Okay, that seems to fix things.
No, he was just talking about getting stuff.
Yeah, I was just saying that the Charlie Bone rule is I have to do something, my self-imposed limit, my restriction and pledge is that I have to do something that's not just playing Magic the Gathering and or Legends of Runeterra, so I have something to talk about on the podcast, so that I don't, because if I don't, then I have to read Charlie Bone.
Yep.
Because I don't know what it is other than its name, and it's like maybe rip off Harry Potter but worse, but I need to know.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before I realized no one could hear me, is I'm the only one who's read any of it, and that was in 6th grade, so it's been a hot minute for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure it's definitely a ripoff of Harry Potter.
One of those Harry Potter ripoffs, and I don't know which one it was, maybe it's Tripone, but I remember distinctly the kids had stand powers.
I think it's Charlie Bone. I
Because
think it's Charlie Bone.
there's one of them, I'm like, are these just stand powers? Is Charlie Bone, like, I know Charlie Bone's not that cool, but man, that'd be cool.
So Charlie Bone's stand power is he can listen to photographs. He can hear what things in photographs are saying. And then there's another kid who just like gets memories from clothes, like what it's gone through. And I remember he's like wearing his old tattered cloak and he hates it because it's evil. I don't know. Apparently this cloak has seen some shit. So Charlie Bone offers to trade him his new cloak for his old tattered one.
I like the evil cloak. Currently, that's my favorite character of the 7 blasphemous cloaks. That's my favorite character. All right, Nolan, what have you been up to before our shenanigans, our Discord shenanigans?
Well, I've been playing a game.
Uh-oh.
I think we know which game.
Yeah. A recent game that has been popping up in controversy.
SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated.
I wish I was playing that. Oh my goodness, man. No, I've been playing The Last of Us 2.
So tell me about it.
First, I want to give some positives. The graphics,
very nice of you.
Look really good. They definitely, they crunch people down to make it look real nice. So I'll give them that. Gameplay is real fun if you just sneaking around and shooting crap. Boy, that story is just dog crap. I hate every character that has come up and every little conversation they've had because it's just been stupid and dumb.
Because the only things I've seen of Last of Us is I watched Pat play the first 4 hours of it.
Okay, so you saw the introduction of the other awful character.
Yeah, Abby and the crew.
Girlfriend character.
Yeah, I saw how they just kind of show up and they say, hey Joel, you want to meet up in this abandoned house alone? And he's kind of okay. And then they go in there and they're like, haha, we've trapped you.
No, it's not that. I hate Ellie and Dana's relationship completely.
Oh God.
It's so awfully written where they know each other because I think they're friends, and then they kiss once, and now boom, girlfriends, and they're acting like they had this long history together of being together. And
but Nolan, people loved that when they did it in The Legend of Korra.
I didn't like that either, but I felt bad because they obviously Legend of Korra didn't have time to build it up.
Yeah.
I knew that if they had the time, they could have done something really good.
Yeah, to me, that relationship felt like the cheating of where you just get to say, "Hey, remember that time when you didn't show anything? You just have a time skip, and then you get to say, all this happened off camera. Haha, right?"
Listen, this isn't about it's hey, the relationship there. Listen, if you did it with a guy and a girl character or a guy and guy character, I'd still absolutely hate it.
Yeah, it's just lazy writing of just being now they're in a relationship, so we can have relationship dramas.
I also think it's weird, and I think part of it is because of how realistic the graphics are and how serious it's trying to take, where story contrivances to me show up way more prevalent than normal.
Yeah.
How
it's got a problem of the chaotics.
Yes. where it's kind of so the plot of Last of Us is you kind of go across the country, you have a countrywide post-apocalyptic journey, and then at the end Joel kind of says, nah, maybe not though, and he kills a bunch of people and kind of takes the girl away from Seattle back to, I think it's Colorado or somewhere.
Yeah, to his brother's place.
Ranch, in the middle, kind of we're going to say past the Rockies. And it's and the people in effectively Seattle track this guy to wherever he went in post-apocalyptic America, where it's you don't know what the guy looks like other than his name. I think his name is Joel. So
they know his name. They do not know what he looks like.
Yeah, so you're basically saying, I know there's this guy named Joel. He's somewhere out east, and we don't know what he looks like, and we're just gonna go and see if we run across him. It's one of those things.
Sometimes you just roll a d20, Kevin, on the search check.
Yeah, you get the critical success. Where it's one of those things where if Joel just said, "Yeah, my name's Greg," then that game doesn't happen. They just keep on going.
You know what I would really like is if so they find him. He goes, "Hey, my name's Joel." They're like, "All right, we got you." He's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, I think you have the wrong Joel."
Yeah, what are you doing?
They go, "Is this the right Joel? Is it? Shit, we don't know."
It's not a rare name.
I know another Joel in town. Maybe it's him.
Yeah.
It also makes you think, did they kill other Joels? Are they just going across killing every Joel?
No, they did.
Yep, anytime they meet a Joel, they just kill him. Their job will never end.
Except this time they know apparently it's the one. It's just, to me, like, normally story contrivances, like, I will accept, but when your game is trying to be this grand adventure or whatever, they just show up way more, like, blatant.
Yep.
Okay, so another one of my biggest things is the infected of the game.
Yeah, the Zambambos.
Yeah, then they're like cordyceps.
Ichus and fungus.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Ichus and fungus. Don't call them pustules.
Yeah, that was a song from All Real Monsters.
So like the way it works is like you get infected by it, and you infected, and then you get like turned to another kind of infected, and then you die and become like a spore colony.
Yeah.
That's how they kind of figured it out. Now it's like they're immortal.
Yeah, that was weird.
Because I've run into like 4 or 5 things like, wow, they've been in here for like 30 years?
Where they should be like a colony on the wall. They should be like moss, effectively.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, like, well, let's like throw my suspension of disbelief out and like, oh, well, they're fungi. Maybe they're producing energy by like slowly, like
decomposing, like feeding on the dead body or whatever.
But like, if that was possible, it's 30 years ago. It would just be like a husk on the ground. It's like really dumb. I think they built it so they could have like, wow, look at this area you're in and how like long it's been like this. But anyone else coming back to the game kind of knows like, yeah, it's been forever. It's weird.
It's, to me, it suffers from an unnecessary sequel, where a lot of the stuff in Last of Us 1 works because the game takes place from the infection day to 10 years later. But once you go even further past that, it starts to fall apart because the lore was never meant to go beyond the story. Like, at this point, the there shouldn't be zombie hordes anymore, like, in my opinion.
I have run into 3 zombie hordes, and we keep getting away from them by, like, putting a door in front of them. And I'm kind of getting tired of it. Because they're zombie hordes, they shouldn't stop. They should still be outside that door.
You're also having the thing in that game, which I feel really suffers for the kind of serious AAA games, of what I will call cutscene weakness. Like, instead of cutscene strength, where you play as Ellie and she's killing like thousands of people and she's fighting dogs, but then the cutscene happens and she can't kill one person or she can't fight one person, and you're just like, no.
I literally just murdered like 20 dogs and I can't fight one person.
Or like whenever you fight someone and you like, and then you lose, and it's like, but I just won. Yeah, no, but thankfully, this pre-render not as good.
Ellie has a gun, but then she says, "I'm gonna fist fight this other person," and then loses the fist fight.
To those.
It's like.
I'm gonna be honest. I looked at all the memes for those, and they are all great.
Oh, they're hilarious. My favorite one was the one where the old guy punches the child, but then they recolored it. They recolored it as Leorio punching Ging. And he's like punching the ground, and then his fist is coming up and hitting the kid. I'm like,
those might be my favorite. It's that and the choking one.
Oh, the choking one's really good.
Because there's been 4 or 5 really good ones. Or the biting one.
The bite. Oh, there's some good MS Paint recolors.
I don't know what they're called. What are they called?
I just always call them like redraws, or because they're redrawing the scene. Someone's basically kind of like
templates.
Yeah, templates are good too. Those are always funny. Until they're not, but like any meme. But it's just
I want to know what they're called so I can look them up.
Yeah, I think it's like Last of Us 2 redraws or something.
I your best bet is go to like Know Your Meme, and I would say they have probably created a like common vocabulary
That's
that
for,
people abide by.
that's how the internet works.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just it's sort of interesting about Last of Us 2, just because I was watching a Jim Sterling video today where he was talking about.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you go.
I'm looking at a couple of them. All right. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, where he was talking about Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, and that game is sick. But he was saying like how in some ways it still looks really good, where you take that nasty Nintendo 64 assets and you just sharpen them up, and it's kind of like in some ways you see that and you're like, yeah, that looks better. That looks more like a video game and more pleasing than things like the hyper realistic Uncharted's and Last of Us kind of games. And part of me agrees. Even though I still like sprites the best. That's like my favorite. To me, sprites are what video games are.
Listen, as long as it has good gameplay and a decent story, I could care less what the graphics look like. As long as like the frame rate's okay.
That's
on it.
Oh, unless it's Deadly Premonition. Deadly Premonition has to be terrible.
I don't care if it's Deadly Premonition. It gets a pass because it's special.
Deadly Premonition. That's because the jank and it's if your game is so weird that the jank is understandable, where this game cannot be the AAA game, even though you want it to be, but because it's so niche, it has to be jank. I like those kind of games.
Yeah.
I think that's this week is the Deadly P2.
That's
We gotta see what
get ready, guys. The game of the year is about to come out.
What York was doing in New Orleans, and maybe all of the sweary games are tying together, so we might even get the end of D3 or whatever.
D4. Dark Dreams Don't Die.
Oh,
because isn't that the apartment like where old York is going to? But then,
and you have a cat, but the cat's a cat girl.
Yep.
And Forrest Kaysen is your cop buddy.
Oh, Forrest Kaysen.
Yeah, he's in. What's that sci-fi game that Swery made that Forrest Kaysen is also in?
I know what you're saying, but I don't remember. Man, Swery's great.
Yep.
Fantastic. I want to give him more money to make more games.
And all it took was the world to experience a global pandemic to get Deadly Premonition 2.
Yeah, the most unlike the blessing. That was one of the strangest games to come out. For me, it was always the sequel to Nier and then the sequel to Deadly Premonition as the games that will never happen. And then both of those have come out. So I'm like, I don't know. I feel spent. Yeah. I honestly feel spent. Like, what am I gonna do? I think did we talk about Cyberpunk the genitals? Was that last week?
Yeah, that was last week.
Okay.
That was the thumper.
Yeah, now I remember.
Yep. You gotta jailbreak your dick.
Yeah.
Found my favorite Abby choke meme, which is what was it? Shinji choking.
That's pretty good.
It's really good.
I think, I'm sure it exists, but if I were to make an Abby choking meme, it would be that scene of Control-Alt-Delete where the Xbox robot chokes Ethan's wife.
I think so. You've done that. Hold on.
When Control-Alt-Delete turns into a Grimtail, where the Xbox robot decides to take over Earth and destroy the timeline of video games. Oh,
I can't believe people read Control Alt Delete.
Well, I think
That to me is the most damning evidence about how most gamers have no sense of taste.
I would say I read Control Alt Delete when it was still video game jokes, and I fell right off of it when it became relationship drama. I'm like, no thank you. I just want to see, here's the joke about Gears of War. I don't...
Talking about dumb video game stuff. Come on.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Yeah, you're like, it'll have to be like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You have to get that pillow and smother me if my dumb MS Paint comic turns into a relationship drama.
Well, no, Kevin, you already killed PJ Detective.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Like, if he wanted to make a side comic that was all relationship drama, I have no qualms. That's okay. That's like experimenting and kind of like, to me, that's the whole point. It's like, I'm gonna try this new thing, and maybe it's gonna work, maybe it's not. And if it fails, whatever.
What keyboard shortcut would you label that comic?
Pajama Detective?
No, if he would have done the spin-off, like, the way he has Control Alt Delete, so what keyboard shortcut would you call his spin-off relationship comic if he'd done it that way?
Oh, I gotta think about that one. I think I like Control Z. I think that's a good one. Or maybe like Control C, Control V, like copy paste, because Control Alt Delete, it's those same characters, but it's kind of like in another timeline where now it's all relationship drama. So you got Control C, Control V, where you've copied the characters and you put them in like...
That can also be if you Control Shift V is paste the values without the formatting.
Yeah, oh, that's pretty good. I like that. That's too clever, though. Remember, in the storyline of Control Alt Delete, the keyboard, like the whatever that he presses to reset the universe and solve all the problems is not Control Alt Delete.
God, he's such an idiot. He's such an idiot.
You set up this stupid thing in your own stupid story, and you didn't do it. It would have worked. It would. Everyone would have been at least like, okay, well, that's something.
Yeah, it's like, of course, that's what you have to do.
That was from like, it was when the old webcomic days, when to me the two webcomics people read because they hated them but were fascinated by them. It was Control Alt Delete, and it was
Moon Over June.
No. Moon Over June only got posted because it was a pornography comic that was one of the least pornographic things ever. Because you're just like, ugh. But at least Moon Over June did work the name of its comic into the comic. Because whenever the weird kind of gross, the grotesqueries had their children, they were called Moon and June. So it was Moon Over June.
Ah. So, okay, then,
so they didn't do
the cow
that.
goddess.
No. Because you're thinking like the gross ones. The ones people followed were Control Alt Delete because the story was so bad, and Dominique Deegan, Oracle for Hire.
I don't even know what that one is.
Ooh, that's the man. That was the one. Oh, it was. Oh God, it was a man's fantasy world, and you got to and you read it, and it was not very good. And then, but it was how I think the best way thinking back on Dominique Deegan was an author reaching for the sun, but he wasn't even like really trying to have this emotional story with weight and characters, but he just couldn't do it. Just couldn't. And not like Tails Gets Trolled, where Tails Gets Trolled actually somewhat does do it, where you get attached to those awful characters. They're like, yo, these are great. This is just like, imagine someone trying to do something for real serious and there's no element of irony or joke to it. It's just like, and kind of, oh man, one of the most infamous scenes in Dominique Deegan was about how in an orc tribe.
Can I say, every time you say Dominique, I just expect you to say Toretto.
You're not wrong. But there's this scene where it's because there's so many juxtapositions where he tried to have this really intimate story about an orc tribe conquering another orc tribe, and what they have to do is like sexually assault the like daughter of the previous conquered tribe or something. And everyone was like, this is just kind of effed up.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's effed up in the way where you're trying to have like this heroic sacrifice or whatever, but everyone's like, that's just kind of skeevy and weird, and it doesn't have to be that way because you're the one that made the world. You could have just had, I killed the old king and became the new one, but no. It has
or
to.
Even then, you can also just use metaphor for these things. That's what they exist to do.
Yeah, but this is no metaphor, Drew. And it's just that kind of, and there's a lot of elements of that are like that, and then there's weird justifications and weird things that happen that are stupid, but it's just, and the art's kind of bad, but not in that good bad. Like I will say, Tails Gets Trolled, which is, to me, the pinnacle of good bad art, where you see those drawings and you're like, this is terrible, but they speak to me because there's so much of the author's or the artist. You can feel the passion and emotion in each one of those drawings, like that picture of Tails where he's just kind of like done with it.
Yeah.
Even though you're like, that's terrible, but I feel that emotion. I feel it in my soul. Just, oh. But yeah, those are the two. It's also weird because Control-Alt-Delete was one of the inspirations of my own comics, because it was the Control-Alt-Delete. I've talked about this before, but whatever. I'm just rambling. The Control-Alt-Delete rule, whereas if you take a comic of Control-Alt-Delete and you take the first panel and then you just show the last panel with no text, the comic is infinitely funnier than if you have the other two, like 4 panels, not funny, but you take that thing down to 2 and edit out most of the words, and then it becomes funny.
I will say you do still have a problem of your panels are still a little too wordy sometimes.
Oh yeah, I get.
Also, you don't use contractions as much as you should, and that shouldn't bother me, but it does.
I don't. That's just. I think it's because of how I type, or how I think that. Okay, I think I know where that came from, and that was using word limits in papers.
Yeah.
Where why would I type can't when cannot counts as 2 words?
Well, it's also you're not supposed to when you're like typing or writing things.
Yeah, and that's probably because I don't write fiction or whatever.
Yeah.
The only writing I've ever had to do is research papers where I'm like, nah, I'm going to write too formal. Because otherwise,
Yep.
Why would I write something? That's dumb. Writing is for dumbs. And then I go, man, I'd really like to write. But then I go, time to play the card game.
Ah.
In summation, Dominique Deegan is the Last of Us 2 of webcomics.
Damning criticism.
That's it. All right, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks for showing up.
The only other thing is we could talk about Evo got canceled.
Oh, yeah! Fuck Mr. Wizard. Evo's dead.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Turns out, as much as I dislike Mr. Wizard, it wasn't enough.
No, you had there was real reasons.
Yeah,
Yo, you want?
there were a lot of real reasons.
Oh boy, it's also been, and I support the idea of getting the sexual abuser. Just get those out of the nerd cultures. Get them out. Get
Yep.
them out. Kick them out. You're done. Get
Yep.
out. I also on like mainly just because I want more people to talk to that are not horrible nerds, and that's what happens whenever you get those sexual abusers in there. Is you get those kind of skeevy nerds. I don't like the skeeve nerds. Get them out.
Yep.
Kick them out. They're done. Oh, you know what sucks? Okay, so here's something I'll talk about the end of the podcast. It's something I learned today. Well, learned over the course of last week. It's an unfortunate random occurrence. So, whenever you get partnered, or whenever you get to Twitch affiliate, you get to make emotes. And whenever you make emotes, they take your name and assign you a random number, right? And the random number that I got assigned, and you can't change it. I've tried to change it, so you can't.
Yeah.
So the random number I got assigned was 88.
Yeah, you sure did.
Which I've only now recently learned is some like horrible Nazi propaganda
Hitler.
number.
Uh-oh.
Yep. H is the 8th letter of the alphabet, so 88 is HH, which is Hail Hitler.
Yeah, and that's terrible. So what you have to do is you got to get me to partner so I can change the prefix. So
No, Kevin, all that's going to happen is they're going to change you to 14 instead.
oh god. Well, I've both been like, I'm like, that's unfortunate, but then I also feel like if you've engaged in any of my content, you should be well aware that I do not like Nazis at all. And will ban/kick you out the fuck out of there if you're acting like a Nazi. Because fuck them.
Do they reuse numbers?
Yeah, they do. Well, it's just
Okay, I was gonna say-
it's just because it's a random number. Like,
Yeah, I was going to say, you are not the only 88, correct?
no, it's not just me, and it's not, and it
Yeah.
wasn't something I could pick. Because if I would pick, I would make it something like I don't know. I probably I understand the reason why they can't make you pick, because I would pick 69. We'd all would pick 69.
Everyone would pick 69. Everyone would pick that or 420.
Yeah. No, because that has to be two numbers, which means you're only limited to 69. So that's why they give you random number, but it's just that's unfortunate. So that's the thing. It's not an issue, but it made me concerned. I was like, crap. So that's now my statement, where that's an if you want to help me, all you have to do is get 50 of your pals to watch my stream for a couple of months, and then I can change the emotes, the emote prefix. So that's all you got to do.
You mean postfix?
Not well.
Because it's Virtua 88.
Yeah. So you got to get me get those numbers out of there. I think that's what. So you gotta get 50, because that's the.
Oh no! Is Horfo racist?
Horfo is not
a Nazi.
Oh God, no! I do not want what happened to Pepe the Frog to happen to Horfo. That's one of my nightmares. That's legitimately one of my nightmares. Is that one of my comics or whatever turns into some kind of alt-right Nazi meme, and I go, no! I don't want to kill Horfo. That is a legit fear.
Gonna have a MAGA hat on him.
Oh God! No!
Oh no!
Not Horfo.
Look, Kevin, you should give him like that cool Judge Dredd helmet, so he's got that sweet like SS emblazoned on the visor.
Oh yeah, that'd be sick. And then oh God, that's like one of the things that makes me one of my random anxiousnesses about the internet. It's that, and it's is if anyone like had video knowledge of me in high school being cringy. That like it's one of those like that's like, oh god. I know there's not video footage, but if ever there was someone that's like, here's Kevin doing something. And I'm like,
Someone
oh
had
god.
the camera on when you didn't know.
Yeah, but I think I avoided that due to just time and people not caring.
Cameras were not so widespread.
But I fear, or if it's like here's Kevin's school play that he did in drama that he just had to do because so here's him on the stage do it in part. And I'm like, oh god.
Here's Kevin getting the troop almost kicked out of a theater competition.
I'd be fine with that one. Because that's when I talked about having sex with someone's mother. And that was okay. I'm okay with that. Like, that's the kind of, like, middle school cringe where I'm like, nah, that's okay. That's okay. That's just me being stupid. I don't mind that. I mind more, like, being embarrassed.
No, that's you being intentionally stupid.
Yeah. That's me. It's where I was like, yeah. But man, yeah, so that's an ever-present fear. If you're listening to this podcast, don't use Horfo in your racist memes. Just draw use like someone more popular than me.
Yeah, use Ninja.
Yeah,
he's probably racist anyway.
Yeah, use like use the No, I don't want to get into that. That's terrible. That's too terrible. That's really bad because I don't want someone's artistic creation to be used for ill.
No, use LTG. No one cares.
Yeah, use low tier god.
Yeah, that guy sucked.
Put a MAGA hat on him.
Use him and F Champ. They suck.
Yeah.
Put a MAGA hat on him. It just says like Nazis are low tier or some shit.
Man, social programs, that's garbage, dog.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Let's end it there. Bye.
Later days.
Later days.